You know, as a meteorologist in Western New York, I'm rarely bored. 2018 was certainly an up and down year on the barometer, and in this week's Heather's Weather Wise, I'm counting down 5 of the biggest weather events. First day of the year seems like a good place to start, right? New Year's Day 2018 was the coldest on record. An Arctic high with some serious staying power moved in from the higher latitudes. Our low temperature on January 1st was -4 degrees, and of course that's in Fahrenheit. But it wasn't just that day. High temperatures would stay at 20 degrees or lower for 12 days straight at the Buffalo airport, and if that wasn't enough, it would only get colder just a few days later. Let's skip ahead to March now. A Seiche, or a rapid rise in water levels on Lake Erie, occurred on the 8th, but the event actually began on the 7th. That's when west-southwesterly winds started to pick up, and they wouldn't let up for about 36 hours. All of that wind, with speeds anywhere from 20 to 25 miles per hour, pushed the water levels up at the Buffalo gauges by about 40 inches in 6 hours. Meanwhile, in Toledo, water levels fell by about 50 inches in 9 hours. On to April, a month where most of us are hoping for some milder air and maybe just a little bit of sunshine. But of course, Mother Nature usually has something else in mind, and on April 18th, we got an ice storm. A warm front set up just to our south, and that classic clash between cold and mild air led to just about every type of precipitation you can see, from rain to snow, but it was the freezing rain that became most notable with this system. Close to a ½ an inch in Alden, but nearly an inch out towards the Rochester area. April would also wind up being the 11th coldest April on record in the Buffalo area. The two biggest weather events of 2018, at least in my mind, weren't individual days or events, but entire seasons. Number 2, our severe weather season, or in this year's case, a lack of it. Wind damage reports only came in at 52. We had 4 reports of large hail and 1 report of a tornado. That occurred late in the season, too. Just for some reference, this year, the Buffalo Weather Service office got in 125 severe weather reports. If you go back to 2017, that number was 363. That quiet severe weather season was likely a direct result of the number 1 event from 2018, heat. Data from the Buffalo National Weather Service office shows that the period of May through September was the hottest 5-month period on record in Buffalo and several other locations in Western New York. We certainly weren't alone in that heat either. The West Coast was scorching over the summer. Meanwhile, just to the south, record rainfall for the entire year. May wound up being the hottest on record in Buffalo. July and August made their respective top 10 lists. There were a lot of other wild weather events here in Western New York over the past year, so if you have a story you'd like to share with me, feel free to reach out to me on my social media pages, either on Facebook or on Twitter. Also, be sure to subscribe to the WGRZ YouTube page. You can see all of my Heather's Weather Wise episodes right there. I'll be back next week with a new topic, but until then, remember, it's good to be a geek.